There he is.
All right, here we are.
What's up, Hunter? How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Just enjoying the beautiful Arizona weather right now, and we're not getting scorched.
Yeah, it looks so much better than Massachusetts right now,
Oh
but
yeah. I
it's
was like, you
probably
know what?
better.
We'll do the podcast IG live outside. We'll do it outside. It's nice
I
out.
wish. Yeah, it's pitch black and probably 40 degrees outside right now at best.
Yeah, I got Ronaldo hunting lizards right over that way. We're doing this
Live,
together.
living the life.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
but thanks for your time, man.
For sure.
I think this will be a good one. I want to start out with obviously the main thing, belt.
Your
Um,
brother? Just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, we can talk about Alex when we talk about the world shoot.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, no, I really want to dive into belt. I mean, to start out, obviously we'll nerd out
Cool.
about some shooting and stuff. But I kind of want to pick your brain, like, where did your inspiration come from? Like, I'm sure this has been something that has been in the works for a long time for you.
Sure.
But yeah, how did it all get started?
All right. It all started when I was 15 years old and I broke my back. Just kidding, but not kidding. I did fracture my back twice in my youth, amongst like other injuries. And then I quit my full-time job, decided I was going to be on the road and start shooting. And I bought the camper for my truck and then I just got on the road and just started road dogging it. I was on the road for like 6 to 9, 12 weeks at a time. And I found myself not carrying my gun because I was uncomfortable because I got back pain, hot spots, hip pain, psoas muscle tight, so on and so forth. We've all experienced it. So then it went through a whole thing where I bought like every EDC belt on the market, every ratchet belt, every leather belt, everything you could possibly think of. I bought, I probably spent like $2,000 on different belts just chasing a belt that I could wear comfortably everywhere I go. Because what would happen is I'm driving the truck, I get uncomfortable, I take the gun off. Now I'm in some sketchy gas station in the middle of nowhere, and I want my gun, and now I have to put my gun back on and do all the stuff, and it just like there's a whole thing. And then I tried, I can't think of the name. There's like a lifestyle brand that's a stretchy belt. It's all elastic. And I used that for a little while, and then I ended up like taping reinforcement to it to hold the holster in place because it would sag. Because like your boy's typically carrying a full size gun, at least I was at the time. Uh, and then I started having the idea for this like stretchy EDC belt in 2018, 2019, and then it took me about a year to find a manufacturer to help me produce it because I don't know textiles that well, and like not all elastic is treated the same and stuff like that. Then I prototyped it for like a year and a half after that with just my local buddies here. And they're like, yo, this is really good. This is better than you just solving your comfort issues. Like this is better than anything I've tried, blah blah. I'm like, cool, this is great. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And so like my first order of belts was 100 belts, and I had no idea if I was going to sell all 100 of them. And I have a picture of me laying on a kitchen floor with all 100 belt orders laying on top of me because I was like, this is crazy. And then like it ended up being like a lot of my friends purchasing the belts that I knew from the shooting community and the online communities and stuff. And then they had it for a week or two, and they're like, hey man, this thing's actually really good. I'm like, I know, it's
Yeah.
crazy. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And like comfort was never really a topic for concealed carry, at least in like the term of belt. And now there's a handful of company offering stretchy belts, and like I support most of them. I like seeing more innovation come from it and everything like that. And I think there's enough people. I mean, just like holsters, I have holsters from all different companies and stuff like that. But I just really wanted to focus on like there's been a monumental amount of support to the point where like I just hired my first employee, who's an old buddy of mine, to help with fulfillment and packing belts and stuff because I can't pack the belts when I'm away at matches and stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, and like I'm out of space in this RV garage that I rent as a shop right now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is like it's turning into like a sizable business now.
Yeah.
Uh, and it keeps growing, and like we do our best to like have like the best customer service anybody could ask for. Try to get orders out in a timely manner, and then as you know, and probably everybody in here watching this or listening after the fact, I try to give as much back to the community as possible. And I've gotten a lot of other companies being like, "What are you doing?" Because it is off the normal path of like what companies are marketing and what they're doing. What is it? The moon? I can't see it. So I just came outside and they're like, "Hey, there's a moon over there." Anyways, um, but anyways, I'm basically disrupting the market. I built my credibility in the shooting space, in the competition space, in the training space. Uh, like hit GM, met a ton of friends, traveled the country shooting matches. Uh, and so my initial thought was like, I just want to give back as much as possible.
Mm.
So one thing Walther did, I think it was 2020, maybe maybe 29. No, I think it was 20, maybe 21. They had like play to win or something like that. But like people were getting paid out crazy cash to shoot a Walther Q5. And I was like, that's awesome. Like local matches.
No,
You win
that's
your
cool.
local match, you submit it, you get paid. And I was like, that's crazy. Almost switched, but I didn't. You know, we stay loyal to the
Yeah.
meatball. By the way, Smith and Wesson calls us the meatball. But I was like, that's great. Cash speaks volumes for shooters. I think it's absolutely messed up that our sport is solely funded on shooters paying for the matches, paying for the sport, paying for everything. Like all of these, like I just don't understand it from like a business aspect why we rely so heavily on the shooters when we have these companies that and like I'm still a small business in comparison to some of these larger guys out there. There's optics companies and firearms companies that are making millions, if not tens or hundreds of millions of dollars every year. And like I think they just need to hook it up more. So like the best thing to do in life, whether it's marketing or just being a good person, is lead by example.
Mm.
So what are we going to do? We're going to be extremely generous. We're going to sponsor as many matches as possible. I think my accountant just gave me the count on it. We're at 98 matches sponsored for 2025.
That's awesome.
Tons of them, like from Florida to Alaska. Yeah, I even sponsored a match in the Philippines just because, even though I don't even sell belts to the Philippines, but like it's just vibes, you know?
Just vibes.
Just vibes. We operate on vibes a lot over here. But um like I wanted to get shooters paid because I think it's like Ben Stoker had a video just saying like the pro shooter's dead right now, you know, and like people aren't getting paid. A lot of companies just want to give you product and you shoot and like that's it. But realistically, it's like shooting matches is very expensive. Especially if you want to go shoot majors, they're out of state and everything like that. Like it adds up.
Yeah.
And so the bounty was just kind of a way for shooters to like earn some money that aren't like a factory shooter, that isn't a sponsored shooter. It's just like there's some killer dudes out there shooting from concealed, and it's just like get out there and win it. And then it like escalated to where like I'm just having a conversation with my videographer who's also named Hunter, and I was looking up and I was talking to these old people in the sport. No one's giving away a car. And I
Yeah.
was like, we could be the first ones to give away a car. And I was like, Race Gun Nationals, like 80s Corvette, like it's hot right now. It's fun, you know?
So
Let's give
perfect.
away a muscle car. And so like I drove down to Bisbee, Arizona, met some like 74-year-old lady named Linda, and bought that Corvette off her.
That's awesome.
And now Jacob has it and he's got it secured in Fort Benning. He just drove it to practice today, which is cool. But
Yeah.
like again, it's just like it's fun stuff. And like in the grand scheme of it, you know, it's like I don't want to call out any companies, but like, you know, let's just say it's like a big notable brand. They have millions and millions of dollars for their marketing budget. And I'm like, the amount of story reposts I got and story tags from that Corvette is insane. And especially like
Mhm.
I've got some followers, but I'm by no means am I like one of the big gun tubers or something like that, you know, with like hundreds of thousands of people looking at my feed. But um I had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tags in that story from that Corvette. I'm just like, what are these big guys doing? I'm like, you got millions of dollars to spend? I'm like, I just bought a Corvette and just parked it at the range, gave it away,
Right.
you know?
They're not
And
with the vibes, seems.
now with the vibe, like, it's just like, again, like, I wear all the hats in the company, so like, there's no red tape to cut through or anything like that. I asked Smith if they wanted to buy a car, and they're like, I don't know if we can get our shareholders to approve of that. Because, like, how do you explain the value in just like having fun? Like, that's what it is. Like, we're having fun at the range. We're bringing fun back to the competition. What was the match that you shot? Was it Area 3? 6?
I shot Area 6.
Area 6 concealed, right?
I didn't shoot concealed, no.
Oh, never mind. Um, my bad. I
All good.
thought, anyways, but regardless, it's just like it's a fun side quest, and it's it's just giving a shooters an opportunity just to like try something new. It's pretty close. Like once you get your draws and reloads down, it's pretty much the same.
I
And
mean, it
like
is the same. That's literally the only two things that are different. Because I mean,
yeah,
most people
like
are
unless
fighting.
you're like Isaac Lockwood, who's got like a .35 draw. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like, and he's not even really ripping that out all the time. Like as long as there's some movement, it's pretty equal. The reload is a bit slower, but like shooting's all the same.
so
Unloaded
just run a
starts gonna
big
be
stick, and
tricky.
then you don't have to reload in most. Then you're good to go.
Dude, my M&P with a 140 and carry optics holds 25 plus one.
Yeah, you're good on most stages without even having to reload.
Yeah, and but it is like I do get a lot of reps just from having the belt, running the YouTube, doing a lot of training. Where like Jacob, he started concealed draws when we got back from World Shoot, and then I think it was like 2 3 week turnaround to Factory Gun Nationals. That's the amount of time he had to learn how to draw his gun. And like sure, like he knows how to draw, but like not practicing with it, you know.
Right. Yeah,
So
compete at a national level.
yeah, because like I could gun to my head, guaranteed time, I'm probably at like 125, 130 at like almost any difficulty of target. Like you give me like a 50 yard target, probably gonna be 1-3. You give me like a 12-yard headshot, probably gonna be a 1-3. Give or take, you know. And
Yeah.
like I can squeeze down to a second if it's like a big open A zone, but it's just not I'm not consistently doing the 1 second or anything like that, you know.
There's more steps to like actually complete that draw. Like it is
Yeah.
a longer movement than just taking it out of a competition rig. But before we get too far into it, I got my belt right in front of me.
Hi, this is Ronaldo, everybody. We stole him from Puerto Rico after the Caribbean Open. He's a G.
Before we get too far into it, I got my belt right in front of me. For the
Okay.
people that live under a rock and don't know what the belt is, can you explain to them like how it's different from a normal EDC belt?
Yes, I can. Very well, actually.
I hope so.
Um, so the main element of the belt that makes it different is that it stretches and form fits to your body. So the front part of the belt has a reinforced section to hold your gun in place, and then the rear of the belt is stretchy, so it will move with your hips, your body. You can bend down, you can do anything you want. Someone, Cameron, just posted yesterday. I reposted on my story. He was working out with the belt. He was doing kettlebell swings and squats, fully rigged up, no problem. And it just it works with your body for the most comfort. Actually, I can show you. I have one on, right? So I can get part of that. Boom! Look at me. Look at me. I'm in pants. Okay, so this front part here is rigid. There's a steel insert, and then this other part's stretchy. So everything moves with you. And like today, we got a little bodyguard action, monsoon tactical with an optics and a chunk port. Just disappears super easy. Since I got this gun, I've been carrying it a lot. People talk shit on 380, but I fuck with it. Um, but yeah, the big thing is like the belt form fits to your body. It's comfortable and estimated lifespan is like 3 to 6 years, depending on how hard use you're doing with it. They're 115 bucks, which is a little bit more expensive than other belts on the market, but it'll last and it's unmatched comfort to anything else on the market.
Yeah, I mean, I got mine right here. So for the people that are looking now, this front part is what he's talking about that holds your gun, and it's a lot more rigid, so it can actually hold the weight of your gun. And then this really just you can fit it to exactly your body type and stretch it to you, which is
Yep.
nice.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's adjustable. There's a slider on the back. So like, Thanksgiving's coming up and you stuff yourself, you can just give yourself a little bit of relief. You're good to go, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had mine for at least a couple of years now. I mean, I've lifted in it. I've even ran in it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously shoot with it, of course. I do a ton of driving for my job, so I mean, having it on driving it's very nice because it stretches
Hmm.
when you move around, but also doesn't compromise like the rigidity in the front of actually holding weight. I mean, I
Yeah.
keep two mags, a full size pistol, a dot, and a light, so I mean, it's about as heavy as it's going to get for an EDC gun, and it holds it just fine, which is great. Because a lot of times, like I've seen other belts that are more on like the flexible side all the way around to go for comfort, but then as soon as you throw something like decently heavy in it or two mags, it just doesn't support the
It's
weight
flopping
anymore.
around.
And
Yep.
then yeah, like if you had to run or if you wanted to work out, it's bouncing all around, and
It's
it's
awkward.
it's not consistent.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah,
I've
there's probably 6 months I carried my Sandhawk with 147 spare mag flashlight. It's probably like 4 pound, four and a
yeah,
half pound package.
big boy.
I'm a big boy, and it was fine, no problem. And so like that's what I like about it. You can literally carry whatever you want. I did just get a Desert Eagle, and I got an EDC holster for it, and we might see that break out next year. Um, which would be cool. I think I just saw Mr. Willie down here ask about belt for dog. I actually have dog collars on the site. I just don't really promote it. And so they're there. Click around, you'll find them.
Yeah, I have seen someone, I forget who it was, but I saw someone post their dog wearing one, and I thought they just modified their EDC belt and went full baller. But
No, we got them. We got them. I think there's like 200 of them in stock or something like that.
that's cool.
So they're
Um,
out there. No cat collars yet though. The cats are too small. And in full disclosure, I'm just using scraps from the main belt to make the dog collars. And I was like, we were just throwing them out. I was like, nah, let's make dog collars because my buddy wanted one.
that's fun. Um, so as far as like expanding belt, like is there anything that you're looking to kind of like grow the arsenal?
Um, yes and no. I have leather belts. I'm actually picking up. It should be the final prototype this weekend in Phoenix. Should be done. I've got a couple that I've been using, but like there's some tweaks we made. And then obviously more colors, more patterns for the regular belt. Uh, I've been gotten a lot of requests for outer belts, but I'm just like, there's so many outer belts out there that I'm just like, I don't know if I want to dabble in it just because I have some ideas, but like I don't have any like huge improvements for it. So it's just like if if it's not broke, don't fix it. Other than like people just wanting to support the brand, but I don't know. So we've thought about it. I've got some hardware coming out as well. Oh yeah, TSA compliant belt. Thank you, Jukebox. That is also coming. I keep breaking my hardware though on the buckles and sliders with the composites we've been using, and I just got buckles made out of carbon fiber, and they look sick.
That's pretty cool.
Uh, but yeah, that one's working. I just keep breaking it, and everything takes long to develop, especially when I'm like on the road and running the business and doing everything else. Uh, but yeah, TSA belt, leather belts. Those are probably going to be like the two expansions on the EDC. Outer belt, it's just like people would buy them. People have asked for them, but I don't have any revolutionary ideas to help with, I don't know, improving them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
there's great ones. I use a plastic belt. I use the double alpha Lynx belt just because, and the only reason is because it's easy to pack up when I travel and fly.
I do the same. Yeah, I use the same one. I can fold it up and put it right in the
So
carry-on.
I'm just like, I don't really know what I would do. So like I'll probably not, but like maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
Um I'd rather just expand the EDC line and just like we've done zero paid advertising yet. It's just it's just been like word of mouth, and so like maybe just
that's
like
huge. That's
work.
something people don't really understand. To like, unless you've
Yeah,
like tried to sell something, like
But
not
dude, like,
even putting anything into advertising and getting to where you are now
yeah.
is very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like maybe like giving like cars and cash, like that is considered advertising too. But like the paid Google ads, Meta ads, YouTube ads, and stuff like that. I know some soft good companies where like that's 80% of their sales, and they are much larger companies than me. And
Yeah,
so I'm just like, we haven't even we haven't even, like we're still in first gear, like rolling off that green light. So I think there's just a lot more room to grow and expand the business and get it into like more of like the common person EDC setup, just because like right now I feel like it's pretty niche to like the competition space, the EDC space, the YouTube space. And like
yeah,
there's a bunch of people that are outside of our sphere. Even though it feels like our sphere is big, it's pretty small.
it's
And
very small if you compare it to
yeah,
the actual number of gun owners that are out there.
yeah. But yeah, like what Chase said, word of mouth and Corvettes, that's my advertising.
And vibes.
And vibes, yeah. Vibes and aura farming,
Do you
as the
do
kids say it.
do you do inner belt too, or am I did I
I
just
do, yeah. I have a Velcro belt. It's pretty good. I think I've been trying to avoid doing it like by size, like individual size, but I think I might need to go that route. That's the number one like recommendation I've gotten on it, where people are like there's too much elastic, not enough Velcro. Um, so we might change that next year. I don't know. We've got a decent amount of inventory left from the last shipment, and we might change it. I don't know. It's just kind of like up in the air. We don't have If like I get enough requests for it, then I'll consider making the prototypes. But it's most people like it, and we've got a handful of people asking for a change.
yeah. I mean, the biggest thing with success in business is you either have to do it better than everyone or do something nobody else is doing.
Yep.
And I mean, you're killing it exactly with that with the EDC belt. To get more into like the events and stuff you're doing, I wanted to ask you like why you're doing all these events, and but I think you kind of answered that in your intro. I wanted to
Yep.
get back more to the shooters, especially because like there's probably maybe I don't know, you can probably name the amount of people that are actually in the green from this sport
Oh
um,
yeah. No,
on
that's
on
like
on two hands. It's very rare. So having this someone to actually give back to the people that put in all of their money and time back into the sport is, I mean, it's one of a kind. It's awesome.
yeah. I consulted for like probably about 30 different companies after I quit commercial real estate until like Belt took over full time. Mainly in different marketing roles and stuff. And like the number one question always asked is like, what's the return on investment by sponsoring these? And it's like, in my opinion, the wrong way to look at event participation, because it's not like I'm not selling belts at the match. I'm not like going to the match being like, oh man, like, I think let's say like let's say a major match costs like 3 grand to go to, travel, lodging, match fees, ammo, whatever. I'm not going to the match being like, I need to sell $3,000 worth of belts to do this. And like the people who are shooting the major matches is even a smaller group from like the overall USPSA group. There might be like 2 to 3 thousand people that are like on the circuit nationally, you know? And then out of like, I think there's like 41,000 members and like around 70,000 people total, members and non-members, that shoot it. I'm not going there to sell belts. It's just like community involvement and like brand awareness more than anything else, because like it's extremely important. And my goal was no matter where anybody's at in the country, like they know what the belt is.
Mm.
And like when I first started just using belt instead of like the Hunter Constantine carry belt or the Constantine carry belt or whatever, ROs and match directors were so confused where I was like, hey, can you just say like Area 8 presented by belt in all caps? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, nah, just like that's what I want. Like I'm a presenting sponsor, I'm giving you a bunch of product and money. Just like that's what I want.
The
And
people will understand.
the people will understand, but um and it's not about that return on investment or the money. It's just like the impact you have on the community. And I think like being starting as a shooter, like a competitive shooter who is on the circuit, and then starting a business, it gives me a different perspective than a lot of the companies who are like just making a product be like, we need to sell to competition shooters. Like, this is our goal. But like, uh, at this point, I feel like a lot of people in USPSA already have the belt or the inner belt. And I was
Yeah.
like, at what point do I stop putting those on the prize table because people already have them? But people like to collect different colors and like some of the updates on the belts and stuff like that, which is fine. But I'm just like, there's going to be a point where I'm sponsoring all these matches and everyone's going to have a belt already.
Mm.
And then I'm just like, well, I guess I'll just like, I don't know, donate money. Or I was even thinking like, just like buying random shit for the prize table. You know, like whatever those belts cost is just like for PCSL, my buddy Cody sold me a Honda Grom. So at PCSL Nationals, we're giving away a Honda Grom. Someone's going to go home with a motorcycle.
That's pretty
Uh,
cool.
and I've been busy. I haven't even made media on it yet, other than like a couple story posts. But I'm just like, I'm like, it's fun. You know what I mean? Like, let's just do something. But it's all like brand awareness and marketing in the sense of just like educating people about the brand, getting people familiar with the brand. I went to school for marketing. I have an MBA in marketing, and a lot of the psychology behind it is like people need to see that brand over and over and over and over again for them to recognize it and understand it. So when it comes to their purchasing decision of I need to buy a new EDC belt, what am I going to buy? They've
Yeah.
seen it 12 times in a year just shooting matches. Whether I even sponsored like random level one matches. Literally, if you're a match director listening to this or watching this, just send me an email to info@hunterconstantine.com. And if you want, I don't know what level of sponsorship I'll commit to. It just depends on how everything's working out through the year. But like, I will give you some belts to give away. Period. I don't know how many. I don't know what level I'll support at. But if I'm feeling saucy, I'll take the whole thing. But uh, I just think it's important because and it gets like a certain optics company comes to mind, but like they've been participating in the sport for a very long time and they sponsor a lot of matches, presenting sponsor, they put a lot of product on the table, but like people almost expect it from them because they're so big. And so it doesn't hit the same because it's expected. Everyone
Yeah.
expects that like they should be giving away something crazier or like something out of left field. Like you got to surprise people. You got to disrupt it a little bit, you know?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think, and that's the hard part is just talking to these companies, being like, man, you know, like talking to ammo company, they're like, we spent $250,000 this year sponsoring matches, and like we didn't see any ammo sales. Like they're trying to sell ammo at the match, and I'm like, it's just like the wrong
That's never
mindset
going to
going
happen.
into it.
Yeah.
You know, it's more important just to like be there for the community. Like I was at the award ceremony at Race Gun Nationals, like showing people how to adjust the belt and like putting it on. And just like handing out little belt stickers and like just I shot pre-match just so I could vibe during main match and float around with the camera and stuff like that. So it's like it's about that involvement and uh and like having people feel connected to the brand and like I am truly just like one of you. I'm just like a dude who likes guns. I just happen to be selling this belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's what the YouTube is too, where it's just like it's the same vibe. If you came to Tucson and come practice with me, like it's gonna feel like same format as the YouTube video. We're just doing drills together and we're just talking amongst ourselves rather than me just talking to a camera. And I
Right.
think that um that like that like realness of it all, like just like being authentic, just like being yourself rather than like me being like, "Hey guys, I have an EDC company. I'm going to sell you this belt because it's the best belt." I'm like, take the belt or not. I'm like, you're going to love it, but like
Right.
either way, like we're just here shooting, vibing.
Yeah, I think a good thing too is one, you have a great product. So
Hmm.
it's you have that like a lot of companies they all have like Me Too products, you know?
Yeah,
Like one company sells this thing, the other company sells the exact same thing with a different logo on it. And it's you kind of have a different level of competition to where the point is you can just sell on your product. Like
yeah,
you have a good product and like it's going to do what it does because people know who you are, and you're out there in the community. I think a really good thing that you do is eliminate indecision for a lot of people. I mean, you brought it
hmm
up with with your marketing and just putting belt out there as
Yeah,
much as possible. Like now when
absolutely.
somebody says, I need a belt, like they can't help but
Yeah.
think.
I was like, I'm gonna take
Um,
that word. That word's gonna be mine.
yeah, exactly. Like you practically, if you're in the competition space, you practically own the word belt. So now you've
Yeah.
eliminated indecision for people when they're going to look for something new for their EDC, um, because of how well you've marketed it and set yourself up to eliminate indecision, for people in the market. But so to kind of segue more into events, question for you.
Yep.
If you were, this is theoretical, but if you were the dictator of the shooting sports, USPSA, IPSC, PCSL, whatever, um, for a day, what do you think you would change? And
I'd,
would
uh,
you? I'll ask my follow up after this answer. I want to see what your
I I would
general.
add belt as a division.
That was going to be my follow up question.
Yeah, no. Realistically, I think we have good bones. There's a good foundation for what the sport is. And it's like it's the largest organization that we have in the United States. But there is some room for improvement. Um, and like I think we need some younger people in the board. And I like to see, I think area two, I think his name's Ian Parker. He's from Richmond, California. He's a younger dude. I think area six, maybe. I
Hmm.
think is another young dude. I don't know
Yeah,
his
he's
name off
he's
the
a,
top.
he's a good dude. Area 6.
Yeah. And so I like seeing that, and I think we just need some like fresh perspectives because a lot of the guys in the sport are, I'm just gonna say some like I'll probably get mad when I say this, but I don't care. Legacy members. They used to be top shooters or something like that. And there's some that are good, but there's a lot of guys in there that are just going about the old ways of doing it. And like looking at the old world shoots, looking at old IPSCs, like the stages were crazy, dude. They're like hot holstering, jumping over barriers, crawling on the ground, like crazy movers and stuff. And like it looked fun and crazy. And I was like, oh my. And then you look at Factory Gun and Race Gun Nationals, it's like, here's 14 open targets and some walls. Shoot around in a half circle. And I'm like, come on, man. Area 8 was an absolute blast at Greater Pittsburgh Gun Club. They had like a floating dock. They dug a trench, filled it with water, had a dock on barrels that moved. They had like poppers on sliders that like if you missed it, you had to run all the way back to the front of the stage to engage them. And then um uh like it was fun. Like and I'd like to see them. It's like it's more annoying to build that match and it's more inconsistent. So like you have to spend time to like build it correctly and everything. But I would like to see matches go back to like fun and interesting things. Like Area 2, they do a great job at it. They've got like teeter totters, they've got like crazy upside down pendulum things that like can swing with targets and whatever. And I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I've definitely been to some majors this year that it's like, this is just a big local match, which is kind of disappointing, especially if you're flying somewhere, spending a ton of money, going to shoot a bunch of stages, and you're like, this is just like two local matches combined.
Yeah.
It's definitely disappointing. Like especially if you go to nationals, I expect it to be more than stand and deliver stages. I expect it to be like something that I can't get more than once a year,
Yep.
kind of thing. But do you think is there any word about, the organization supporting like a, I don't know if they'd ever do like a belt division, but like a concealed carry division kind of thing?
So what I'm going to push for in 2026 is a concealment category because then we don't have to step on anybody's toes. They don't have to write a whole new division or anything. Um, to me, I see no negatives. And when we
Mhm.
were at Race Gun Nationals, I spoke with Troy, I spoke with Jake, and some other guys just to like float the idea, just to kind of like test the waters a little bit. Um, and Jake actually presented it to the board in 2018 or 19 when they had the holster and flashlight change.
Hmm.
And they struck it down at that time. I'm not sure why. But as a group and a community, I think like my thought was like, I'm going to make a petition. We're going to get people to sign it. I guarantee between Instagram and YouTube and all the socials and people getting on board, I think we'd probably get like 5 to 10,000 signatures on it. And the main
Easy.
premise is
I
to
think
like,
you
yeah,
get way more.
probably, but just to start, just be conservative, 5 to 10. But the big thing about it is that it's lowering the barrier of entry for the sport, which would then in turn bring more USPSA members, which is the board's main job because that's how we're generating money. It's from memberships and match participation. So if people feel like they have an opportunity to shoot their EDC gear and they don't need to go out and get a race belt and they don't need to get all the special equipment, we're going to see more people coming to shoot the match. I get a ton of comments on Instagram and YouTube where people are like, hey man, like you inspired me to go shoot my first match. I shot it with my EDC gear. I shot it with belt. I didn't know I could do that. Like there's literally just like a lack of information where like the average gun owner who doesn't shoot competition doesn't understand that you can just like go to a match and shoot with whatever gear that you have. And so I see no negatives to it. And that's going to be a big push for 2026 and see if USPSA wants to lean into it. And like on the other hand, PCSL, like USPSA hasn't talked to me. Max is like, this is crazy. How do we get PCSL more involved? And I was like, give me a concealment match. I want a whole match from concealment. And that's how we made the belt championship, which is registration's up. I think it's like half sold out already, and it's been up for like a day. It's gonna be the third weekend in May in Dallas at Mission 160 range. The whole thing is concealment, and I'm putting up 30 grand as the cash prize. Split up between two divisions and I think 5 categories or something like that. So, but like Max right there, he's showing like initiative, like he wants belt on board. I've been a sponsor of PCSL, and I was like, let's do it. I'm like literally just like I'm just like waiting for the opportunity because like I've had this idea of a concealment match, but I just don't have time to run it. So he's like, BCSL will handle it. It's one gun. We're making the divisions. We've got defensive practical, defensive competition, some rules, and some people are a little tossed up about the rules. But like my goal is so people can't just bring in like a fat race gun and then smoke everybody. So like if you want ports, it has to be under 4.3 inches
Hmm.
for um for competition, and then with or sorry 4.5, and then practical the gun has to be 4.3 inch barrel or like breech to muzzle, and then you can only have ports if it's 3.71 or shorter. So like guys can roll up with their 365 ported. I don't give a shit. But like if you're running like a 4.25 2011 with a comp, that's obviously not
Like a
comparable to
ported
365.
Atlas with a
Yeah,
compensator,
like a
shooting
shorty
major.
ported Atlas or whatever. I'm like, it's not the same. It's not. So we wanted to gear it more towards allowing people to like actually use carry gear, carry guns. We put weight limits on it. We limited like thumb rests and some other things. But um, for USPSA, I'm going to push for a concealment category. I don't know how much I'm going to have to contribute for it to be called belt, but I'm sure they'd probably try to squeeze me on that one. It also doesn't make sense because people would be like, "What the fuck is belt category?" But people will know what concealment is. Um, but that's a bridge we'll cross when we get there. But you guys will probably start hearing some rhetoric involved with that, and some pushes on social media and stuff.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I've shot a few matches from concealment, and they've all been PCSL, like
Yeah,
PCSL two guns. It's so convenient going to it. You just literally show up in your gear.
yeah.
Like the
Don't
safe
have to do
table
anything.
rules are much like I don't know. PCSL is it's much
It's a
more
shooter's
fun.
discipline. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
it's
there's
more
not.
laid back
Yeah,
in a
but
good
still
way.
putting on like great matches, great. Everything's just great about it. I love it. I love PCSL. I shoot every year. I'd like to see their nationals a little bit earlier because by the end of December, like I don't care and I'm just like side questing, so I'm just like a bit checked out. Um, but yeah, so we'll see. I think concealment category for USPSA will do do well, and then depending on how the belt championship works out, I've been talking to Max about maybe bringing more concealment matches to PCSL for next year, like maybe doing like once a quarter and like I think he has like 4 or 5 regions or something like that for PCSL, but like doing one at like Richmond, doing one down in Texas, maybe like one in Florida, and then one up north, like in Ohio or something like that. So we'll
Yeah,
see. But
definitely.
like it's just like all of this is too just like seeing how everybody reacts to it, and then just like making decisions based on that. So like if it's popping and like we sell this thing out in like a week and people are excited and they want to come, then great. Or um, or if it's like not as well received as like doing just like cash payouts throughout the year for other matches, like maybe we'll go back to that. I don't know, but we're just kind of like rolling the dice and we're doing it live.
Yeah, dude, I like it. I think you're doing something that, like, especially once you have like a full year. I mean, you already have, but like a full year of events, people can go and win cash. There's going to be a large group of people that just commit a whole year to finding wherever the bounties are and just become
Yep,
straight up bounty hunters for belt, um,
absolutely.
which they should. I mean, if you want to earn some money and get in the green in this sport, I think you got
Same.
to throw on a
I
belt and go hunt, go be Doug the bounty hunter and
Yeah,
just
dude, get a mullet wig, some terrible tattoos, and start kicking down doors.
hell yeah. To kind of segue into World Shoot.
Okay.
I have a little, obviously, I have a little insight on like the docu series you've been doing, but
Yep.
kind of talk to me about these docu series like that you've created for the World Shoot, and what are you looking to showcase with them?
We're looking to showcase vibes,
Cool.
officially. But okay, so these documentaries started because when I was coming up, I was trying to find any source of media that showcased the sport so I could learn more and see what it's like to go to one of these places or what it takes to be a top shooter. And Shooting USA put out some great content that I found, but it wasn't scratching the itch as well as I wanted it to. And then it got to a point this year where I was talking to John Gattuso, who's like the main creative head behind the docuseries. And we were talking, and he presented the documentary to another company that was involved with World Shoot, and they never gave him an answer. And I was just like, "Fuck it, go. I'll fund it. You just go there, you film everything, we make the videos. Let's see how people like it." And like realistically on YouTube, it didn't do that well. It did not have a lot of views or anything like that. But again, the public sentiment from the competition space was like, "Whoa, we really like this. We'd like to see more of it." And I was like, I would like to see more of it too. I really enjoy them. I enjoy watching them too. And like having John make them, like when I'm watching the draft, I have the same feelings that you feel when you watch the YouTube video for the first time. I'm like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. I was like, wow, I didn't know he did that. Like I'm not there. I'm not there for all the interviews and stuff. I would like to be, but just given my schedule, it's hard to manage that. So uh PCC, I think like combined, we maybe did like 100,000 views or something across the whole series, which is okay. Um, but then I was like, let's do it for Pistol. Like, I'll double your budget. Let's get after it. And so we did the same thing. And like, no one's done a documentary on Christian at all. No one's gone that deep and interviewed his parents and interviewed like what his training setup looks like or like what he's been through to get to being arguably the best shooter in the world. It's between him and Eric. And
Well,
I'd love to have
I don't
Eric
even
on
know
there
if it can
too.
be argued right now. I mean, he's got 4 years until it can be argued, but
Yeah, like I would say, I mean, on paper, Christian is the best shooter right now, right? He won
yeah.
overall. But uh Eric has been winning for longer. So like that's the argument. It's like what's he got? And I'd love to see that showdown. I heard a rumor that Eric wants to shoot open from senior, win high overall, and then he's set. You know what I mean? He won as a junior, won as an adult, and now he'll win as a senior. And he's got it all. And I think like here's the crazy part is that both Eric and Christian aren't in their full stride of training.
Hmm.
So like we haven't seen the best Eric yet the last few years. We haven't seen the best Christian yet in the last few years.
Why do you
So
say
like
that?
just talking to them and talking to other friends and stuff like that. Christian has a full-time job. He only shoots like 12,000 rounds a year.
Mm,
You know what I
that's
mean? Like
wild.
he's clocking into a financial job Monday through Friday. Like
That's so
it's
crazy.
crazy. You
Yeah.
know, and then Eric on the other hand, he hasn't had he hasn't had the competition to like need to train. And uh close friends of his and talking talking about Eric through them and interfacing with Eric a little bit, it's just like he's not even pushing his training, he's just maintaining. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not really I haven't," and like I'm sure this like could get misquoted and stuff, but he's like, "I haven't been taking it seriously. I've been
That's
taking it
crazy.
as serious enough to win." So like, and it's crazy like when Eric does get close and like some of the super squad guys when they're shooting at IPSC Nats, Eric has like one or two more gears on his speed. He just shoots conservatively. You know, it's like we go to the match, we shoot like 80, 90% comfortable. We're confirming our dots and everything like that. Uh, but like I watched Eric shoot like crazy fast swinger, going back and forth, and he was giving advice to somebody else to go one pass and one pass per thing, you know? And
Hmm.
then when he shot the stage, he did like a 14 split and got two alpha on the first pass on like a wicked fast. And we're like, whoa, it was like you told him to shoot this, and then you shot that. And he's like, I saw it, so I shot it. And he was just like, it's just like there, you know what I mean? And like, it's, I wouldn't have done a double pass on it, but I'm not as confident, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just something else. And it'll be a great showdown when that happens. But the whole point is to just educate more people on what it takes to be a top shooter and what these top shooters are going through. Like Jay Beal runs an entire farm at home. He at during Factory Gun Nationals, he's posting on a story. He's like cutting wood from logs to make a barn with his bare hands with hand tools. I'm like, that's just crazy. I mean, that's just some manly shit right there. You know what I mean? It's
Hell
just
yeah.
different, and like we're all living different lives with different things going on, and so we've got Tom Castro coming up next with some clips from World Shoot, and then I think we'll have one or two World Shoot episodes after that to kind of finish off Pistol. We have Shotgun World Shoot next year, and I've been talking to a couple companies to see if they want to cover that because like between you and me and everybody listening, I don't really care about Shotgun.
I don't care about shotgun either, but it is so big.
Yeah, it's huge, especially internationally. Like it is.
It's the biggest
I
shooting sport. As much as I probably don't want to admit that, and I think it's dumb, but
Yep.
it is. There's so many more people in the world shooting shotgun competitively than
Yeah, and
anything else.
I just shot five stand last week, and I realized I'm so bad at shotguns, and to the point where like I'm like I should go out at least like once a month just to go shoot clays, just so I'm like I don't look embarrassingly bad. Because
Yeah,
like shoot a pistol decently, rifle okay, and but clays, man, like you want to make me look bad, you put me in front of a shotgun with some clays. So we'll just kind of see, and then even if that doesn't happen, the route I've kind of been talking about is moving towards like a ESPN style 30 for 30 like interviews. So I'll just still send John or whoever around to capture these shooters and interview them and maybe just to have attach them to like a main match. You know, it might not be, you know, obviously we're not gonna have World Shoot next year, but like maybe it's nationals, maybe it's an area match and just have it just have people see like what it's like, you know, to shoot it and what they're doing to prepare and what they're doing to train and everything like that.
yeah, dude, that would be awesome. I mean, that's the big thing. Like, why I started doing these monthly lives and stuff like this is because no one knows how the top shooters are training. Like,
Yep.
nobody. Like everyone has their idea, but it's shocking to me. Like you just think all the the super squad guys, all they do is shoot all day long. But most of the time they're like working a normal job. Like there's only a few of them that are like full
Yeah.
time shooters. The rest of them
Yep.
are working like everyone else, just making it happen on the side. And it's wild. Back on the world shoot though, until Tom like kind of told me a little bit how the world shoot worked when he was going for the PCC world shoot. I had no idea even how to get into the world shoot, like
Yep.
anything about it. And I think that is so common for people. Like nobody knows anything about the world shoot. So I mean, I think it's awesome that you're giving it exposure because it's the biggest event in our sport.
It's like our
Like,
Olympics, you know?
yeah,
And
and nobody knows anything about it, which is so wild.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
just doing that exposure is a pretty big deal because it I don't know why the organizations don't, you know, market it more, but it's cool to see the best people across the world shoot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um,
There's talent everywhere too.
yeah, that's something. Obviously, Americans are the best, but like it's just interesting to see like in countries you think like, oh, people don't shoot over there, but like some of the best shooters in the world are from there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so I kind of want to talk about your training before we wrap this up. But how'd
You
you?
do?
How'd,
You want to talk?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
um, because I mean, was this your first world shoot?
First world shoot, yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool. So like, how long did it take you to get GM?
14 months.
That's wild.
So, but I shot 152 matches my first year shooting.
Do you regret making GM super fast, or
No,
is that what you
but
wanted?
it's what I wanted. That was like my goal. Then my next goal is like go in like level twos, level threes, um, and like area match and nationals have just been looming since. Like that's the only thing I want when it comes to like actually training and doing well at matches. And I've come close. I think I have like 5 second place area finishes. And I'm just like, fuck. I mean, technically I won like L10 at Area 4 this year, but like that doesn't count. And I also got second place at L10 at Nationals for race gun, but like low key, like that doesn't count either because like those aren't, it's not a real division. There's like 4 people shooting Area 4 and like 18 people shooting Nationals. And Shane Coley ruined my YouTube video because he ended up winning.
I
Uh,
heard. I heard that was a very emotional moment.
it's just disappointing. But shout out to Shane. He's been doing this like 2 decades, and he's a very talented shooter. And I looked up to him, and I still look up to him. And he's very talented. So hats off to him. He gets the national title, but I'll probably come for it next year again too. And I bet we'll see more people shooting L10 because of the YouTube video.
Hell yeah, yeah,
So
definitely. So I mean, after shooting your first world shoot, after shooting race gun nats this year, what were your takeaways? Like, what are you looking? You know, what were your weaknesses? What are you looking to work on?
so this year's just been tough. I totally burnt out this year. And like I'm to a point in my skill level where like if I don't win the division, I'm disappointed.
Mm.
That's it. So like as soon as I have a bad stage or something and I know I'm shooting amongst some hitters, pissed off and I just feel like I wasted the match. Um and then I haven't been training as much this year because we've been growing the business. There's been a ton of travel this year. So this year I'm shooting like 10% off of what I shot in 24. Like 2024, I got like third place at IPSC Nats at like 95%. I think I finished Factory Gun Nationals at like 91%, like top 25 or something. I don't remember. It was like 25, 24, 23, 22, somewhere in there, which is fine. It's acceptable for what I had going on during Factory Gun Nationals. But like going up to IPSC Nats, that was the first major match uh, that I spent like a regimented time training and working towards just doing well at the match. Because like and this year I had at the beginning of the year I was practicing a little bit harder just because I had more free time. But like going into World Shoot, I uh shot area 8 and I broke my reloading press. So I had like 20 light primer strikes, so I finished like 20th, 80% or something like that. And then I didn't shoot at all of July until I shot IPSC Nationals. And then I had one practice, and then I went to World Shoot.
That's crazy.
And I don't dry fire either, to my detriment. Um, and I just like I'm getting so much satisfaction from YouTube and the business that I'm not getting the same like. I'm not getting the same rush from the matches as I once did. And so like 2024, I shot I think like 60 or 70,000 rounds, tons of reps. All my practice was really focused on like fundamentals, like no mock stages or anything. It was literally just like the most boring shit day after day going to the range. But that's honestly like what's needed. The stages and everything like they come together. You don't need to be shooting mock stages unless you're working on shot calling. But the fundamentals what drives in. This year, I want to try different training style because I was like, oh, I did fundamentals, and so that's why I did bad. That's why I didn't get the finishes I want, even though I had some of my higher finishes at majors that year. Um, so at the beginning of this year, I tried a lot of like stage oriented training on like
Mhm.
big target arrays, super confusing stuff. And I found that was even worse. And I think that'd be helpful if I still was doing the fundamental stuff. But like if you're super high on your fundamental skills and then you did the stages, like both of these will raise the bar for you. But like if you had to choose if you're doing a lot of fundamentals or stage stuff, I would stick with the fundamentals and you'll probably have a better finish because you're not going to be doing stupid shit. And like your gun's going to shoot where you want it to every shot. So this year was like just interesting for me because um, super busy, growing the business, not training, not dry firing, and just like seeing what I can do. And like I absolutely saw that in basically like all my major matches. And I felt like I needed to stay with carry optics or limited optics with my carry optics gun for World Shoot to practice for it. When in reality, I think sometime around like April or May, I should have just like switched to something fun, like shooting L10 with a 10 mil or open major with a Porta M&P from concealment or something because I wasn't having fun at the matches, which then led me to like not performing to my best at matches because I found that more than anything else, like your emotions going into the match and during the match directly affect your performance. And
Yeah.
so like the more fun I'm having, the better I'm going to do. The more I'm looking at this like I need to do well, I'm putting a lot of stress on myself, like all this like random external pressure. Uh it just like sucked the fun out of matches and as soon as something bad happened, it's over. And
Yeah.
so I think a good perspective that some people need to take is that like none of this matters. Like it really doesn't. Like we're just like shooting a sport that nobody knows about. And like if you're not having fun, like you need to figure out how to have fun. So like I'm side quest maxing now. World shoot's
Hell yeah.
done. Doing L10, doing open major from concealment. Uh I'm gonna start an IDPA run next year for the bug division, which is backup gun. I'm gonna shoot the bodyguard. Just because I'm like, it's fun. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's just like, it's interesting. It's fun. It's something different. I've been shooting the exact same gun for like 7 years. I told Smith about this stuff. They're on board. They're like, hey, man, like, as long as you represent the brand good, we'll support with whatever direction you want to take it. So I was like, that's awesome. And I'm like, hey, I want to shoot like open major at area two. Like, I'm probably not going to win open, but like, again the public sentiment of just like having fun and shooting like a gold M&P with major out of a production gun. You know, like it's just fun and like it's gonna get more attention than me actually winning open with a proper 2011, you know?
Right.
And so I think just adding a fun element is really, really important. And that's probably what I'm going to be focusing on in 2026 and just like I don't know, maybe I'll try single stack, maybe I'll try limited and just like mess around with some other divisions and try something new just because like I miss the learning aspect. I know how my M&P9 shoots for carry optics and limited optics. Like nothing's really going to surprise me. And so if I'm not trained up on it, then I'm not going to do well in the match. If I don't do well in the match, I'm not going to have a good time.
Right.
But if I change it up and I'm like, I'm going to shoot a 40, I'm going to shoot a 10 mil, I'm going to shoot a 45, I'm going to shoot a 380 at IDPA, whatever it is, that sounds fun because I've never shot it before. So like I'm learning as I'm shooting and learning is fun. And
Yeah.
we should always be learning. So uh the training right now is like almost non-existent. And like I like even today I went to the range just to test the major to make sure my gun's not going to blow up at area two and it worked great. But like I have a large OEM shipment of belts sitting in my garage right now that I need to make packing slips for and put on a pallet and get shipped out tomorrow. Like that's what I've been thinking about, amongst like the other fires I had to put out today. Whatever it is. So it's just like the focus is shifted, and in the grand scheme of things, I think like belt takes precedent over winning the match, because there's an illusion where you start your own business, and I've got three businesses right now where like you're gonna have more free time because you don't have to clock in. It's the exact opposite though, because you feel guilty for taking time off, and you feel guilty for um not doing whatever's outstanding. And I have to remind myself that like no, you can like just take time to relax a little bit, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, shooting's supposed to be fun. I mean,
Hmm.
I could ask you why you started USPSA, and I guarantee your origin story would be because
It was
it's
fun.
fun.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's wild. People forget it. They forget why they started
Yep.
because, like we talked about in the beginning, nobody makes money off this sport unless you're going for
No.
a belt bounty. Um, but if you're not having fun, then I mean, you're really just out here stressing yourself out and spending all your money and probably spending time away from people you shouldn't be. Um, but yeah, no, that's a great point because a lot of, especially what I've seen, like a lot of people that shoot a lot or like they always battle with burnout. Um,
Yep.
and it's either they have to structure breaks where it's like, oh, it's my off season. I don't even touch a gun for 3 months. And like for you, it sounds like I'm just going off vibes. If I want to shoot a 10 mil or a 40, like I just like shooting
Yeah.
guns and like,
I,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
I,
Like
lo- I
that,
love
that's
shooting because like I'll be burnt out from USPSA, but then I get a new gun to do a YouTube video on, and like we have fun at the range because like we're just fucking around. I'm like, let's see if we can burn down a plate rack in 2.5 seconds or 2 seconds from concealed or something. It's like something new, and like I'm learning the gun as we're filming, and like I'm like, oh, I love shooting. I'm a gear junkie. I love all the gear. I love all the stuff. So I'm just like, let's that's what I want to do. So let's just incorporate that into matches. We also had an idea of maybe even putting to a vote what gun that I shoot in major matches for people. And
it's never
obviously it
gonna
has to
end
be a,
well.
s- a Smith and Wesson product, but yeah, they're going to be like, oh, you know what? You're shooting USPSA. You're going to shoot a shield in carry optics, and like we're going to see how well we do. But like honestly, sounds like fun. Or like, oh, you want to shoot Revo? You're going to shoot a Smith and Wesson 500. I don't even know if that's legal, but like like that's going to be the vibe where we're just like having fun with it and shooting non-traditional things and
And
just
shooting
checking it out.
concealed is so much fun. I like.
Yeah,
I've only done it
absolutely.
a couple times, but it's like you go into the match and you're already like, I'm planning to have fun coming into this match. And it's a good time. It's also a good test because I mean you walk around with the thing every single day, and most people barely shoot their EDC.
Yeah,
But going to shoot a match with your EDC is it's a lot more fun than it sounds.
I would agree. I shot area 4 in 24 from concealed, and I think Isaac Lockwood beat me by 1%. And I was like, ugh, but winning concealed feels so much better than winning with a proper belt,
Well,
you know?
yeah, you get to talk crap to people immediately.
Yeah, there's just something about it.
Um,
So,
back on trading and stuff. This is a question that like I love to ask people. But what do you think separates the average like A class shooter from the GM?
focus. It's absolutely focus. I think there's a lot of people that go out there and just shoot, and there's not a lot of people that go out there and practice. And the difference between practice and shooting is just your focus on the range and understanding what's going on. Because when I'm training, like I'm trying to process everything that I'm doing. Like, was that a good grip? Was that a good sight picture? Was that a good shot call, trigger press, whatever it is? And there's a guy in Tucson who like wanted to get better at shooting. He paid for private lessons with like a different local GM, spent like I don't know, $25,000 over like 2 years on private lessons and shot like 40,000 rounds and never made it out of B class.
That's
So
crazy.
like you can have the money in the rounds, but like if you don't have the focus, you're not going to succeed at all. And so being able to like dial in your focus and your processing power in your brain is going to make strides happen for you, and you're going to jump classifications really quickly. Because if you can identify and self-diagnose what you did wrong and then know what to change to fix that. Like I always say, like if you did something well, like your draw or whatever it is, like remember how that felt. Remember what your muscles were doing in that moment for that successful run or successful trigger press. And your goal should be to replicate that every single time. And when it's bad, you need to be able to identify what you did differently from your good run to your bad run and be able to change that and identify that.
Yeah, I think you're so spot on. I mean, after talking to a lot of the top shooters, the biggest commonality I've seen in their training is it is so more intentional than the average
Yes.
person. Like you could be doing a drill versus like the normal or this average A class or B class shooter that we're talking. You guys can be doing the same exact drills, but you're getting so much more out of it and going to improve. Whereas that other person, he's like, I'm doing the same rounds, the same time, I'm putting in the same effort. Why am I not getting better? And the biggest separating factor is how intentional you are in your
Yep.
reps.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Couldn't
definitely
agree
agree
more. What classification are you?
there.
Nice, dude. You gonna get close? You gonna get GM next year?
I don't know. I gotta
Are
start actually being.
you focused enough?
I gotta get my
Do you
focus
have
up.
intent? Yeah,
I mean, we'll see. I gotta start actually performing like an M class guy at majors first.
for sure. I feel that a lot, dude. I've been shooting like a M class dude all year.
Yeah, yeah.
And honestly, I wish actually that going back to the USPSA thing, the other thing I do is rolling classifications. So like you only get to be a GM when you're a GM. I
Yeah,
think it's silly that when you if you go under that percentage, like you just get to keep the GM card. Like there should be an expiration date. Maybe it's 3 months, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it resets every year or something. But like I think that's real because like I mean, with the lack of training I've been doing this year, like I'm shooting more at a master level than grandmaster level, but I still get to say, hey, I'm a grandmaster. You know?
yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, the tough part is about the sport is you and I look at it much more personal than the average person. And
Sure.
the average shooter that goes to shoot and like wants to be better than their buddy and like just wants to grind this like a video game and like get that max level. Like unfortunately, they make up like the vast majority of the
Oh yeah.
profit in the sport. I mean, I've always said like you're only as good as your last major match performance percentage, provided
Yep.
you repeatedly shoot them. Um, but I think for the more casual shooter, it would take a lot of the incentive away.
Sure. Maybe. I just
Unfortunately, I
like
don't agree with it. I don't agree with it.
yeah.
I would love to do more of a rolling classification that you got to prove. But yeah, I think like for the average person, unlocking that letter is like everything. That's like everything for them.
Yeah. It was huge when I do it. I mean, like I remember the match I shot my last classifier and I needed to hit GM, and it was a big deal. But as I got more into the sport, especially like some of the old guys, it's like you're not a GM anymore. You were, but
Yeah.
like the fact of the matter is like there's not been a time where there's been better shooters concentrated in the sport ever than ever before. And people need to rise to that skill level if they wanna hang.
Yeah.
And
I
you
think an
got guys,
expiration date would be perfect. Like every year, your
yeah,
classification goes to an average of your major match performances. And then
yeah.
you can work it back up to whatever. But every year, you get like you start out the year with the average of the previous year's
Yeah,
percentage.
like I got I think all but like one classifiers I did shoot this year. I just stone cold Steve Austin got GMs on it. But then at IPSC Nats and Factory Gun Nats, I had a significant drop in my average percentage. So I'm chilling at like 94.7% or something in carry optics. So like technically I'm not a GM right now, percentage wise. but it's just the realness too. And like it goes into the burnout, it goes into not having fun, it goes into like not putting a priority on training. And there's so much else going on in life that I'm like, I can always get back to training. I can always get back to it. And when that itch comes, I will. But as
Mm.
of right now, like the itch isn't there to like just grind it out and try for it, I guess, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed
I need
it's
to like,
sorry.
go ahead.
I've noticed like this is a super how do I want to say it? You can lose the skill very fast. If like it takes to maintain like a winning skill set at a level 2 or level 3 match, like it takes 7 days a week, like practicing really hard,
Yeah.
or close to it to like
Because
maintain that skill.
trying to think, there was like one year I like absolutely just cleaned up and I won like, I think I won like seven or eight, or I won the division seven or eight times at different level two matches or level threes. I don't really remember, but like major matches. And I was like crushing all year long and I was training a bunch. And then like this year, I've won one
Mm.
and I've shot like a dozen or more majors. I think I'm at like 15 or 16 majors, but a lot of podium finishes, a lot of high 90% finishes, but not quite what I need to win. Where it's just like, hey, I'm good 12 stages, and then I get one stage that's an absolute dumpster fire. And like the training and the mindset going into it just helps you with maintaining that mental acuity throughout the whole match and not having those dips in performance.
Yeah, consistency is such a big thing. I mean, I talk to a lot of people and like, oh, what are you working on? What are you working on? And you're like, well, I can do the skill better than anyone once. Now I need to be able to do it for 30 stages straight
Yep,
or 20 stages straight. And like, because I feel like once you get to an M class level, like you can do everything the best GM in the world can once, but
true.
they can
It's a
do it every time
consistency.
on
Yeah.
demand. And
Yep.
when we're talking about winning a match, it's like, oh, so I can do that entry he does. I can do those transitions. I can do those splits. But like that person will do that skill 10 times in a row in one stage times 20, where you may
Yep.
be able to do it 1 out of 3 times on one stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then 0 out of 5 on the next stage and two
True.
out of six on the next. You know what I mean? So that consistency aspect is huge once you get to the top. Because like you said, you can crush it for 19 stages. But then if you bomb one, I mean, you might drop like 10
And
spots.
literally that's what happened at Raceco Nationals in L10. I had two disaster stages, a handful of okay ones, a handful of some of the best shooting I've done all year, and then I had one absolute dumpster fire where I broke my dot and I spent like an extra like 5 seconds trying to shoot a little popper because I went to slide lock and then I tried to shoot this mini popper with no sights, and so I was just like, literally it looked like a Hollywood movie where I'm just like shooting all around it till I hit it. But shit happens, and like just on like my, I had one bad stage where I was slow and I had a mic, and then that red dot stage right there that cost me I think 70 points, and Shane beat me by 80 points.
Ugh, that's
So it's just
nightmare
like it's
fuel right there.
literally a toss up. I mean, like even if I did well on those stages, like it's still not enough to make up the whole difference. But like I guarantee my mindset would be different coming off of a stage that I did decent on than an absolute dumpster fire, knowing that Shane's going to grab 40 or 50 points on me on this stage alone. Where I'm like, okay, I'm starting in the hole, and
Yeah.
that it did also, like I had that really bad stage, and then I had a decent stage, and then I had an okay stage. And then I had just two fucking out of the park home run stages. Just crazy. Where like it was still like 90 to 95% after open and PCC shot it. And I was like, what the fuck? Like that's crazy. Like everything just connected. And then the last stage I was cooking on and then my dot died.
That's
And I
tough.
was like, that's how I finished the match. It was like I was like building all the way up. I was like, holy shit, we're gonna end on such a crazy note. In the last stage, I'm like cooking through everything, and then boom, dot died. So shit happens, and but like so is life, and that's what we do. We just keep pushing through.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. For working that consistency, though, what do you recommend for people? Like just shooting as many matches as possible, um, or do you think like because not everyone's locals matches are of great quality? Do you think at times it's worth skipping that horribly run 200 round local match and just doing 200 rounds of intentional live fire? Like where do you see a lot of
Yeah,
those skills being built?
fundamentals. Everything always just comes back to fundamentals.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna have better consistency if your fundamentals are good. If you can pick up your gun and you can pull the trigger straight back every single time, you're gonna have a better match. If your grip's there, if your reloads are there, if your draw's there, and that comes from just repping it out. So like dry firing, live firing if you can and you have the budget and time to do it. I don't think it matters where you're shooting, whether it's a local or a major or practice, just as long as your trigger time is intentional, you're going to have that consistency built upon. And that also means being able to control yourself because I see a lot of guys too where it's like they're down. So they're like, oh shit, I'm just going to fucking pedal to the metal and just gas out. And they'll usually burn.
Mm.
There's very few guys that can like intentionally just like hit the gas, get that next level of speed and hit and connect on it and have it be successful. You know, it's certainly possible. And you can get like streaks of success with it, but to try to do that like and I'm guilty of it too. There's matches where like I've been behind where I'm like, fuck it. I'll just go fast. And you know what happens? You start making mistakes.
Yeah.
But those mistakes wouldn't happen as frequently if your fundamentals are locked in and you're ready to go. So everything always comes back down to fundamentals, and it's literally just like the most basic things of just like grip, trigger press, sight picture, whatever drills you're doing to make those happen. And so whoever has the better fundamentals probably going to win.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I hear a lot of people trying to talk about using local matches for practice versus for just executing the skills you've learned in training.
Yeah,
But I feel like it's really hard to build on your fundamentals only at a match. At least
I
for
think
me.
I
I,
think all it's all the same,
yeah.
and so like practice, locals, majors, all the same. I like, and maybe that's just because I've shot so many of both, but at this point, I'm just like shooting. I'm like, I just happen to be shooting less, and someone's telling me when to shoot when I'm at the match. You know, even at World Shoot, like I basically coasted through World Shoot, which like I wish, I wish I could bring my like April 2024 skill to World Shoot and shoot that because that's when I was just like on fire and like my gun was just a magnet. But um, I also came off of like I was doing a lot less. And so like I had more time to go practice and like I was dry firing a little bit. I was live firing like 4 or 5 days a week. I was working out 7 days a week. I was eating extremely healthy. Everything I was doing was to get better at shooting.
Hmm.
And you know, there's just a bunch of shit I gotta do now until I like hire employees, I guess, or something, you know?
Yeah.
And but I'm gonna just figure it out. And so like as long as I'm just vibing, having a good time and having fun right now, like I'm content with where I'm at shooting. But like it does make your heart drop when like Jay posts ELO and like my name's not even on the carry optics list anymore. I was like, ooh. I was like, maybe I should try a little bit, but I'm like, what's the point? What am I gonna get out of it? You know?
Yeah. I
And
mean, it's not like people look and be like, oh, I don't see Hunter's name on that list. I'm not going to like
yeah,
him
it's all
by a belt. Like
it's
that doesn't factor into literally anyone's decision on anything they do.
no, it's all personal, just like how you feel about it. So I don't know. When the spark comes back, that's when I'm going to start practicing again and do it. Like I know I have the skill to win a national title. I know I have the skill to win an area match. Um, I just don't have the drive or motivation right now to do it. Like it's the belt is in a very uh like high plasticity state where like I need to focus on this to make it more of an established brand. It's still new.
Hmm.
And there's other things that I need to put in place before it's fully autonomous as well. Or maybe not autonomous. Like I'm always going to be involved, but like Like I still answer every customer service email. I like now occasionally I pack belts. Dakota's pretty much got a handle on it, but like I'm still interfacing with every aspect of the company. So like I wear every single hat that there is, and that's just it's a large time commitment, and like but belt belt pays for my mortgage.
Yeah,
Belt pays for my match travel and stuff like. I guess Smith does contribute some, but even still, like World Shoot was very expensive to fly myself and three videographers out and lodge them and produce videos and everything like that. So it's like
I've heard.
that's the other thing about World Shoot is like a lot of these other countries, their organizations are paying for them to be there. Meanwhile, I mean, with three videographers and the lodging we selected and everything like that, I probably spent, I don't know, 20 grand on that whole match.
Mm.
And but I'm like, I want to bring the content to the people and I want to shoot it and we're gonna do our thing.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's just different. So like that's just like where the priority is, like grow the business, make sure the business is there, getting steps in place to uh help with easing the workload so then I can get back to training and like just doing other things and focusing on things I want to do. Not that I don't want to run the business. I very much enjoy running businesses, but uh it's just like I have to choose right now, you know?
yeah. Well, your sacrifice definitely doesn't go unnoticed. I mean, if you're listening to this or watching this and you're in the sport, support the people that support you because it's important. I mean, that's the only reason why all these events happen. And that's the only
Hmm.
possible way that these events get better. I mean, that's it. If the community was quadruple the size, it would be different. But how it's run right now is you if you're shooting USPSA or PCSL, support the people that support the sport. I mean, it's that simple. Is then it's better for everyone all around. I mean, it's how it works.
100%.
But to kind of segue into ending it here, um, what events can people expect to see from you coming in 2026? If they want to be Doug the Bounty Hunter and fall around and get all the bounties and collect all the
Um,
belts, what can they look out for?
so we have the belt championship in May. That's going to be the big one. That's going to be like the biggest cash prizes. Um, we're not going to have as many cash bounties for 2026. Instead, I'm working with Jay Slater to work on a point system so people can earn points throughout the years so we can incorporate more matches. Um, and it's just kind of like run, I'm just going to say autonomously through Jay and myself. So people can get points assigned. What are these points going to be used for, you might ask? I am going to build a serious race car. I'm going to build a I've been looking right now and we'll see, but like a C6 Corvette. I've got a bunch of automotive brands on board. So it's going to be like caged, harness, supercharged, wheels, tires, the whole deal. It's going to be like 700 horsepower Corvette. And that's going to be the grand prize. And you also have to know how to drive a manual if you want to accept it. Otherwise, it goes
That's
to the
fair.
next person. But and then there's going to be a bunch of other supporting brands like Smith and RD Suppressors and Baja Designs and Walther Arms and Silencer Shop. Whole bunch. Too long to list, but I'm basically just going to have a large prize giveaway at the very end. And the other thing we were thinking about doing, which I don't know if financially I can make this work, but ideally it would because it just depends on how many prizes and how many people. But like PCSL Nationals, it's typically at the end of the year. That will be the last match. Points will be accumulated, and then it's just giveaway slots. So
Mm,
like however many slots you earned is like your probability of winning something. Then, and this is a huge if, okay? But fly everybody out to Tucson. And
that'd be
everybody we
cool.
have like a range day and like everybody gets their prizes.
You could do like a
But
massive event where
yeah,
that would be awesome.
yeah, just like the belt ceremony or something. I don't know. The belt bonanza. But um whatever it is, I'm gonna give away like that Corvette will probably be worth like 60, 70 grand after it's all built. And like that's just going to be the main prize. So we're going to do $30,000 in cash at the belt championship, and then just a fat Corvette. And I'm going to try to drive the Corvette to as many matches as possible, just so
That'd
people
be
can see it,
unreal.
hear it. It's like cammed, fully built engine, blah blah blah, whatever. So that's kind of the plan. And again, we're just like year by year, we're just kind of like figuring out and seeing. Low key, I really miss building cars, and I wanted to build a car. So I'm going to build a car then to give it away.
That's
Because like
awesome.
my trucks are done. I can't really do much on it. My buddy Chase is about to build a Ram 3500, but I was like, I want to build a car, and I want it to be fast. I want it to be cool, and then I'm just gonna give it to somebody else. You know,
Vibe for the
just
people.
for the people, just vibing for the people. And then like it's a thing. So like we'll see how it goes and whatever. Then if like people decide they like cash, then maybe in 27 we'll just go back to cash, and I won't give away a race car, but. I don't know. We'll see. Where's vibes? And I'm open to suggestions too. So like, if you got ideas, just let me know. Hit me up.
Yeah, definitely
Call me.
will, man. Well, thank you for your time. And
Appreciate it,
like I
Matt.
mentioned to people, if they like everything that you're saying right now, the best way is to support you, getting belts, getting merch, because it's only going to make matches better and the prizes cooler. So,
Yep.
yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Take care, Matt, and
You
take care
too.
to everybody else. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, of course. Have a good night, man.
You too. Bye bye.